Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to SP Vids. In this video I'm going to show you how to get multiple drum sounds onto your SP so that you can have way more drum sounds than usual but only take up limited bank space on your SP. So one of the big problems I've had recently is that I usually use my A bank for my drum sounds, so I'll have 4 hi-hats, 4 snares, 4 kicks, and that just isn't enough really. It's not enough variety to be able to put together loads of different tracks. So what I'm going to do here is I've created 3 tracks in Ableton. This can be any DAW, or it could even be a free application such as Audacity, or if you're on a Mac you can use GarageBand as well. So what I've done here is I've created 3 different tracks, and each of them have got the 10 sounds from my Lo-Fi Drum Pack Volume 1. So I've got my 10 hi-hats on track 1 here, 10 kicks and 10 snares. I'm not sure what order they're in, but it doesn't actually matter that much. And what I'm going to do is export these individually as individual tracks. There's probably a quicker way to do this, but I'm just going to do it one at a time because that's the way I know how to do it. But I'm sure there's a way you can probably just export everything and then find the WAV files. So I'm going to go ahead and export the first track here. So I've just got the one highlighted. Let's just get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. So track 1, let's go ahead and export that. You can do Command-Shift-R if you're on a Mac, or you can just go to, let me just show you in the menu, you can go to File, Export, Audio, Video there as well. So really simple. So yeah, Control-Shift-R, and I'm just going to make sure it's a WAV here. And then I'm going to hit Export, and I'm just going to export these to my desktop. Let's call that well, I don't really know what these are. I think number 1 is definitely the hats. Yeah, replace that because that was just a test before. And then I'm going to take 1 off and do 2. Export that. I think this is kicks. Doesn't really matter, like I say, because once it's on the SP, you're just working with sound. You're not working with file names anyway. And let's just do 3 as well, and call that snares. Now what I'm going to do is use the import feature of the SP, which I talked about in a video not too long ago, so I'll leave a link to it, but go ahead and check that out. This is a really quick way to get stuff imported onto your SP. So here I am in the import folder, and I'm going to go to my desktop and just grab these and get those in the import folder. 1, 2, 3, there we go, and now I can move over to my SP, so I will be back very soon to show you what to do once they're in your SP. Okay guys, we're back here on the SP now, back to familiar territory, and I've imported the sounds. If you need to know how to do that, check out my import video which I did a few days ago. I'll leave a link to it anyway, so you guys can check that one out. It's really straightforward to do, and it's way faster than the wave converter. So I've got those WAV files that are created on my computer. These are now in my SP device. So you get the idea. There's 10 each in there, and I think 10 is pretty much the maximum you want to go, because if you're wanting to choose a hi-hat, you don't want to be sitting there cycling through, say, 100 hi-hats trying to find a decent hi-hat. That'll make more sense when I explain what I'm going to do now. So yeah, I've got those 10 sounds each on each pad, and I've basically quadrupled the amount of drums I can have on this bank now. So traditionally, I would just have 4 hi-hats, 4 snares, 4 kicks, and it doesn't give you enough variety if you're making an EP with all the other banks. This now means I've got way more room to mess around with different drum sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for just a hi-hat, a snare and a kick, and I'm going to copy it to another pad. So you could either copy it straight away and then find one, which is actually what I'm going to do because it's a little less destructive, or you could just cycle through the original, mark it and then copy it across. But what I'm going to do is copy it first. So hit hold function, hit 1, copy, and which one do I want to copy? It's this one, and I'm going to paste it next to it, then hit record. And now I'm going to cycle through and find a hi-hat that I like the sound of. Okay, so I'm using mark to mark that's going to be where the start of the sample is. So I've almost taken off all the previous hi-hats and I've just marked it before the hi-hat that I want. So you might need to use the start end level button a little bit to get it exactly right. So there you go, I'm happy with that now. And let's go ahead and copy the snares. Okay, that's kind of like a trappy sounding snare that we've got in there, ready now to use. Start and end again. Let's get it right on. Okay, kicks as well now. Let's copy that pad. And let's mark one. So there you go, I've now got another drum kit ready in those 3 pads. I wouldn't necessarily use them there, I'd probably be copying them to other banks to use at the bottom here where I always do. Hence why my hi-hat button is completely broken now, because that's always been my hi-hat button. But hopefully that gives you the idea, guys. I've basically put a load of different drum sounds. They're all hi-hats, all snares, all kicks to keep them organised. And then you just listening through it and using the mark button to choose a hi-hat, kick or snare that you like the sound of. It just means you get way more sounds in your SP with them taking up a lot less space. So like I said, you could, if you didn't want to do 10 on each pad here, you could do 40 on here. But the thing with that is it will get tedious cycling through, listening to them all, trying to find a hi-hat that you like. So I think 10 is a good amount. You don't have to keep cycling through all the time. You can listen to them without wasting too much time. So this is probably especially useful when you're on the move and don't have access to be able to be importing drum sounds all the time or sampling in. Just means you've got loads of drum sounds ready and you can go ahead and just start being creative with them. If you do need some drum sounds, I'd really appreciate it if you could head to spvids.com and pick these up. It supports the channel massively and it means I can keep doing what I'm doing. So yeah, head over there and you can check out the prices. I think they're really good value for what you get, and yeah, like I say, it really helps out with the channel. So thanks to everyone that's already purchased them, and if you do go on to buy one, thanks in advance for that as well. I really appreciate it. So that's it for this one, guys. I just wanted to show you basically how to get loads more drum samples into your SP without using up banks and banks, just having one sample on each pad. You can choose whatever division you want. You could have 2 on each one, you could have 5, 10, 20, however patient you feel you are. That's, you know, you can have as many as you want essentially, because this box just gives you so much recording time. Yeah, and using that import feature as well is super quick and handy. It's way better than a wave converter, I think. So head over and check out my previous video on how to do that properly. Once you've seen it once, you'll realise it's really quick and easy to do. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep making beats and I'll be back soon with more content. Peace!